Yesterday I went to this optical place and I decided to pick up a pair of shades. And I went for like the very generic, like movie-esque look, right? Um, some of my favorite movies are like Fight Club, Forrest Gump, and Rayman, right? One with Forrest Gump is played by Tom Hanks, and then Rayman I think is Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman I think is his name. Um, Rayman I watched, it was in school actually. But it was an amazing film, man. Um, I remember watching it, and I didn't even take my eyes off for a second. Right, it was just incredible. Both of them are really just fantastic. But I really like Rain Man. They're very deep though, obviously, because they same with Fight Club though. They're all very deep movies because how do I say it? Not like a philosophical, but like in terms of like life philosophy. I don't know if that's even a term. I don't know if I should make this shit up. Whatever. Right. That's what all those type of movies are about. Right. They talk about like life, death, um, marriage, dating, um, career, hardships, like challenges in life, the meaning of life, purpose of life, what is the purpose of life, right? And many sort of things like that. And like finding yourself, losing yourself, finding yourself. It's just in general, it's just amazing. So I really like this type of movies. But that was the type of shades I was going for. So I ended up going in there. I found one that I really liked. And I was like, this is the one. And it had this like lady woman. She helped me out. And I tried the first one was too bulky. Second one was like a medium size, but I was like, this is still I think too much for me. And then third one was like a slim fit. And it was like I put it on and looked in the mirror, I was like, this is the one, or this is the one. Um, but it's really cool, man, because I have purchasing power now, right? So I can, I don't depend on my parents, right, to buy things for me. I'm adult now. I can do things on my own, right? And that's the really cool. Also, scary part about being adult, right? Now you have a lot more responsibilities, but it feels good knowing that I have some control in my life now, right? And then finally, that made me realize I'm starting to move up in life finally, which is really exciting. But that also made me think about how you have so much potential in in your 20s, right? And I think it's really important to I don't want to say waste them, right? I don't think it's. I see all these like clickbait YouTube videos titled like "How it's just been your 20s," or you need to do these 10 habits in your 20s, or you need to start your own business in your 20s to be successful, or some type of clickbait title like that, right? I don't think there's anything like you can be like one of those college people that party all the time and do that, and you can still become successful in your 30s. That's very possible, right? So there's no wrong approach. Obviously, maybe the person who like really grinds really hard and stays really focused in their 20s, maybe they'll be better off in their 30s compared to the person who's like the party type. I don't know. It's just this is very stereotypical, right? This is just what you see in the movies. I don't know how true this shit is. But either way, I don't think there's any like necessarily right or wrong way into how it's just been your 20s. But for sure, what I'm realizing is you have a lot of energy, man. Or at least I hope so. I hope that if you're in your 20s or you're 20, 21, 23, whatever, right? You have a lot of energy. You want to capitalize. That's what I've been thinking about as well. You want to capitalize and take advantage of it and do as much as you can, right? I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with hustling as long as you have some level of balance, right? So I'll use myself, right? For me, I have some things going on, right? I finally landed this new job that has a lot of career growth. It's a decent sized company, so there's a lot of potential for me to level up and get into better or higher positions like supervisor, manager. And then I've also, it's just today I went to the gym. I'm trying to get back in the gym, right? Saturday to Sundays. And then I'm deciding I need to be more intentional with like the social aspect of my life, right? I really need to start making friendships before I can get into any like real relationship. Like I have a lot of people ask me like, why aren't you looking or putting any time to dating? I'm like, I'm not like anywhere near ready. Like I want to have some friend groups first and meeting people. I really need to find a solid friend group before I get into a relationship, right? So I looked up online where some places to meet people. Told me like a volleyball club or a basketball club, then pickleball, and then also some volunteer places like community center, food banking, volunteer at, or animal shelter. And I was like, when I saw Animal Shelter, my eyes lit up because I was like, in high school, I wanted to be a veterinarian, which is basically like a doctor for animals. Because I really loved biology during that time. So I was like, I really like I hated a lot of. I think my favorite ones were I somehow was like really good at geography and English and biology, which is super weird because I know most people hate those three subjects. Or so those three subjects I liked. I liked English, I liked geography, and I liked biology, right? And I also liked animals. So I was like, I'm a veterinarian. I didn't end up happening. Um, but yeah, I was like, okay, I think maybe I can volunteer somewhere at an animal shelter, maybe for Saturdays and Sundays, right? So I think I'm starting to piece things together. But that's what I'm getting at in terms of how it's just been your 20s is trying to gain surface area multiple aspects of your life. You know, try not to neglect one area of your life. If you can try to at least spend like spread out your energy in multiple aspects of your life because as an adult, right, you have things like finances, taking care of your health, your career, your job, your schooling, education, and then your social life, right? So it's really important that you have to put like honest effort and try because it's really important. You gotta be a little bit more intentional with how you do things because like what you see a lot from videos that I watch. I don't know if you guys watch these videos as well. When it comes to like life advice and stuff like that, is it's a lot more hard to make friends once you're out of college, university, because like college, university is basically the final point to where you're not going to be really seeing people on a regular basis, except for if you work a job, right? But even a job is very limited with the amount of people that you see because you're only going to have a limited amount of people working at a specific company or place, right? So you have to start being more intentional with how you meet people, right? So going to more third spaces, I don't know, library, but even the library, like one thing I find as well, it's a very quiet place and it's a very hard place to meet people and try to start conversations. So I figured like this is not it, right? And you gotta find. Like, I feel your animal shelter is really good because it's all more smaller place. But anyways, guys, that's enough talking. I went on a massive tangent now. That's just my opinions, but I think if you're a guy like me or a girl or whoever's watching this video in their 20s, right? I think this is your prime. Technically, this is your prime years. You have so much energy. I think is really worth um, spending and trying to do your best and going to send these multiple aspects of your life. And like my friend told me this a long time ago. When we were sitting in a car, we had like this 1 hour conversation. And he even told me, the most important thing is in life, just don't give up, right? And that's what I'll leave it off at, right? You just gotta, even when things get really tough, especially because, you get all these videos that are like very negative. And it's sad to see that a lot of people are giving up, right? Giving up a relationship, dating, giving up on jobs, and they're only around my age, right? You're way too young. Your life is basically just getting started, right? Anyways, that's enough for me. I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys maybe next time. I'll see you guys in 3 weeks, right? That's when I'll get my pair of shades. I'll see you guys in 3 weeks.